Welcome to Modern Church Leader, a short daily show to help you grow your church, be more effective and efficient, and powerful for the kingdom of God.
Hey guys, Frank with Tithely, joining you today on another episode of Modern Church Leader. Really excited about today's topic. Here's the question: how can I get my church to actually use our giving software? We do digital giving, 25,000 churches all over the world, so we are self-proclaimed experts in this topic. So let me just share a few things with you. I'm sure there's lots of good things. If you're watching us like on YouTube or something like that, would love to hear your ideas. So pop them in the comments. Let us know what's worked really well for your church. Would love to share sort of practical advice from churches all over the world. But let me give you a few things from our perspective. So number one is, once you've decided to go with Tithely or another giving provider, heaven forbid, but the first thing you got to do is you've got to get buy-in from your church, from your church leadership. Your leadership has to be bought in. We see so many times when a church has decided to use an online giving provider, somebody at the church, it might be on the finance side or the admin side, they want to go with something, and they want to use online giving, but they haven't got the whole leadership bought in. And specifically, the senior pastor or the senior kind of executive team really bought in all the way to where they're actually using the online giving software themselves. So preferably, before you even launch it to your church, your core leadership team is all set up, right? They've got their accounts, they've given using Tithely already. Maybe they've even set up an automated recurring gift. And so that team is bought in, dialed in, ready to go, excited to launch it, and just really kind of leading the way for the church. It makes all the difference in the world, because once they're believers and they're bought in, the church will rally around the leadership and specifically rally around the senior pastor once they get up on stage. So step one is get the church leadership bought in. Step two is you want to have a launch event. You want to take a Sunday or whenever you meet as a church, and whether it's during the announcements or you do it during the offering moment, but you're going to take an extended amount of time to have a launch event. So you're going to take 5, 10, 15 minutes and really talk about what you're doing as a church. So whether you're going to an online giving solution from nothing or you're switching providers, there's going to be some reasons why you're doing it, right? You want to offer online giving, make it more convenient, make it easier for people to give, all those kind of things. Or you're switching, and maybe you're switching because you're going to save some money in the switch, or you're going to get a better set of tools for your church. But you've got these reasons why you're introducing online giving. And so you're going to get up on stage, you're going to tell the church about it. You're going to do a demo, in air quotes, where you kind of show them how to use the tools and really talk to them about the benefits and how to get started, right? So you're going to throw that launch event. You're going to be like, hey, church, let's all give right now. How about you pull out your phone, and whoever's doing the announcement is going to pull out their phone. They're going to say, hey, grab your phone. They're going to show it to the audience. Everybody hold up their phone. We're all going to give together right now. And what I've seen a lot of churches do is in that moment, don't do your weekly giving, but maybe make it something special. Maybe you guys support a local food bank or a local charity or a school, or maybe you have a missions program or something else that you guys do, and you say, hey, church, we're going to give in support of our missions program today. And so this is kind of just a special offering for the missions program. Everyone gets set up, and let's all give $1 to the missions program. So it's a super low amount. Maybe it's $1, maybe it's $5, but it's a super low amount, but it gets everybody to set up their account, get familiar with the process of giving, and actually give their first gift right there on the spot. Now, everybody's not going to do it, but you might get half your church, which would be a massive, massive success. So have a launch moment, launch party, and think of a creative way to give people, to allow people to give a small gift right in that moment, and really celebrate it, right? We're doing this as a church, and it's making us better in a lot of ways. So that's number two. Number one, get your leadership bought in. Number two, have a launch event, and in that launch event, give people a way to give a small donation during that moment. And number three is, you're going to talk about giving regularly. And I know not every church is the same. Not every church talks about giving every week. Some churches don't talk about giving at all, which can make this a little tricky. But a lot of churches still have an offering moment, whether it's every week or once a month. They've got a time where they talk about giving. They encourage giving as part of our relationship with God, as part of our discipleship. So as you're talking about giving, you want to have a slide up on screen. Or if you don't have a slide up on screen, you want to pull out your phone and sort of say, hey, church, you can give via your mobile device. Just go to, open the Tithely app or go to, the church website and go to the give page and give, right? You kind of give them instructions. But having a slide up and giving them instructions very briefly, you're not redoing the launch event. You're just letting people know about the ways to give. And so you might have a slide up behind you that says you can give in the offering plate, and you've got a picture of an offering plate. You've got a mobile phone you can give on your phone, and you've got a Tithely logo you can give from the Tithely mobile app, right? So have a slide up, remind people about the ways that they can give so they can pick the way that makes most sense for them. Another one that we've seen churches do and have a lot of success with is if you have a new member class, or if you've got sort of a series that new members go through, in one of your classes, you're probably going to talk about giving, and during that class, talk about the ways to give. Educate them on the fact that you can give from the church website and you can give on their phone with the Tithely app. The next thing that churches do with a lot of success is just share personal stories. And by that, I actually mean people that were giving, let's say giving with a check, and they've done it that way for years. And that was kind of their, and a lot of people, that's their form of worship. Like that's their habit, their thing. So writing their check, putting it into the plate is part of how they connect in that moment. So for some people, making that switch to digital is hard. So getting people up to share a story about, hey, I used to give this way. I was a little skeptical or hesitant or was having a little bit of a hard time, but I switched to digital and here's why. And now I've set up recurring giving. They kind of share their journey of making the switch. I think it's going to resonate with part of your audience. So try to get some of those stories up on stage to share their story. And then, so we've kind of hit get your leadership bought in, have a launch event. When you talk about giving, have a slide up showing people the ways to give, mention that, pull out your mobile phone, talk about it, share stories of people switching. The next thing is every weekend you should have a regular newsletter, and maybe it goes out on Sunday after church, maybe it goes out on Monday, maybe it goes out on Friday before the weekend, but in your newsletter, always show ways to give and have a link directly to the easiest way to give from your newsletter, which is probably a link right to your website, right to your give page, where the Tithely giving button is right there. So you want to make it really easy. Send an email, send a push notification in your church app, do it on a weekly basis, and have that highlighted in your newsletter. It doesn't need to be the main point. Maybe it's at the bottom of every newsletter you send out, but always have it in there. And the last one that I'll mention is just say thank you. Get up on stage. A lot of churches are really great at this. Some churches are not great at it. But saying thank you is so meaningful to people that are giving. Say thank you. Talk about how the people's giving has made an impact for the church, for the community, for people coming to know Jesus, reaching the lost, right? Like just share stories of impact and say thank you. And do it from stage. Do it in your newsletter. Do it on video on your website. And always tie it back to ways to give, right? So use those ways, and you're going to have a great, you're going to get people to use your giving software. So that going back to the question, so how do I get people to use my online giving software? Get your leadership bought in, have a launch event, show people how to give every week, share some stories, use email and use push notifications, and say thank you. Do those things, and I guarantee you, month by month, you're going to see an increase in people using online giving. And when you do that, your giving is actually going to increase because you're going to get more consistency, more people set up on recurring giving, more people able to give online when they're not attending physically. Giving is going to go up, more people are going to use it, and your church is going to be blessed. Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the show, definitely subscribe. Hey guys, hope you love this episode of Modern Church Leader. We're serving about 25,000 churches all over the world, and it's our goal to equip pastors and church leaders with great content that they can use every single week. So hit the subscribe button, tell all your friends, and help us grow this channel.